percentage of the sisters that we still can deal with, but a lot of them are doing things that's undesirable.
But couldn't you say that for black men and black for both?
But I'm not sure. I don't know what the black women are interested in. I'm only looking this is about from the man perspective.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know what y'all looking for. I know as far as like if you are a black man and you conservative, you don't want no Cardi B's, you don't want no
Right.
Kamala Harris's. That's like 90% of y'all. So you gotta start
So
opening up the
so
options.
when you say non-black, what other race would you
Whatever,
prefer?
like whatever. It ain't a premeditated. It's just like, it's not saying I won't mess with sisters. It's just saying my focus ain't, because it used to be the focus was I see my future, you know what I'm saying, with a sister. Now, with stuff like the sister saying they don't want an average black man anyway, you got to start looking at other possibilities. So I'm just saying, just live your life, and whoever you vibe with, you vibe with. If you get a sister, then cool, But it don't seem like as many that's gonna be like on the same mind state as a black man that's conservative trying to build something. I don't see it. I see like 5 to 10%.
Well, I'm all for black love, and I just think like, can nobody love a black woman or a black man as much as like a black person? Because it's like, don't nobody else know the struggles that you go through. Don't nobody else would know what you face out here being a young black man or an older black man. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
I
a
agree
YT
if
woman
it's
wouldn't understand
agreeable.
it.
If
Yeah,
we
YT
agreeable,
woman.
yeah. But not if we finna be
Yeah,
arguing.
a YT woman wouldn't understand what you face and what you go through day to day. Any other woman, the Asian,
It's some
any
of
other
them
woman
that's
wouldn't
different
understand
though.
it.
It's some of them that's different. Some of them different. They didn't grow up in the hood, and they.
I mean, they can go. It doesn't matter where they grow up at. The color of their skin is still gonna be the same. So it's like they're gonna get certain privileges than a black person would get. You
But
get what I'm
they
saying? So
like
like,
playing for the other team though.
I just don't think they will understand it fully. They might get a grasp of it, or you can tell them what you've been through, but they wouldn't understand it, and they wouldn't know how to adapt with
I
it.
understand
Well,
that to a degree.
statistically, women of other races seem to be more submissive, and you guys, you got a search engine, you can Google it. I was trying to find out where
That's my
those
experience.
particular stats were. But on an average, and we're talking about the minority and not the majority. These other races, when they enter into the interracial thing, they are more submissive in the sense than
They are. They are from
what we
experience. They
are,
are.
and right, and a lot of times, even though I don't want to hear that, because I am a black woman all day, every day. I don't want to hear that, but I have to take accountability, and I have to understand that that's just what it is. And if we want to get our numbers up, then we got to get up and we got to change. We got to change what we're doing, because what we're doing hasn't worked for us. So we got to start giving our black men that leadership role, because this is one thing that always got me. When the one where if I got to get out there and go to work, and he get out there and go to work, then he need to pay all the bills and this and that. Let me ask you a question. If that man wasn't in your home, would you still have to pay all the bills? Would you still have to get up and clean? Get the ooh.
Yeah,
But
well,
you
I think. Listen,
guys gotta realize. My bad, just
let me go ahead real quick, bro. Real quick.
Go ahead.
I think we misuse the term submissive. I think we should say more cooperative.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add.
I feel like women of other races
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But I'm just saying.
I cooperate with the police officer.
But I guess what I'm saying. I mean, I think the term it denotes a certain level of maybe paternal. It can come across a little paternal. But what I mean by cooperate, right? Let's say you're a black man who makes like 60 grand a year, right? Like like on average, your average is slightly above average. The average black woman is not capable of respecting that. You see what I'm saying? Even if you're slightly above the average white teen man, right? But the average white woman is very capable of respecting that man. and working with him and putting money back and saving and having like a 10-year plan. I think that's like the major difference. If you make like 60 grand with a
but your thoughts aren't facts.
no, I'm saying that
your
that's
thoughts
what,
aren't facts.
But I'm
And
saying
so we can't pretty it up. We can't pretty it up to fit the narrative. It is what it is. Submissive. Look it up. What does it mean? What does it say? What happens when it does?
Okay, well, a man
I'm
submits to his
cooperating
wife.
with you right now.
Okay, what I'm saying though is a man submits to his wife, so submission is a two-way street. Technically, it's almost like if you. No, I'm saying.
Nah, a man
No,
submits
it's
to God.
not.
A man
No, it's
submits to
not.
God.
Well, now here's what I mean. Like, right, here's what I mean by submission. Right, if your wife calls you at like 2 a.m. and asks where you're at, you need to tell her. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't, you are accountable to the woman. I'm saying, man, I'm talking about real reality. I'm not talking about some online where your man puts his foot down. So that's not how life works. I'm talking about if your wife wants to know where you're at or something like that, or tells you, hey, I don't like you talking to this woman or whatever. There's a level of cohesion where you have to submit to some of the things she suggests, man. I'm not saying where you're not in charge. I'm not talking about where you're not in charge.
Wow, that's all I can say.
That's not what I mean. I'm not saying she's in charge. I'm saying you have to listen.
Sir, you can't change he can't change the definition of submission. You can't change it to pretty it up to fit your narrative. That's not how that works.
Man, that's not what I'm talking about. What I mean, when I say like, for instance, when you don't like, if you don't have to submit information to anybody, you get what I mean? You submit information. So I'm saying if my wife wanted to know where I was at, I am under an obligation to tell her. You see what I'm saying? If she was just my girlfriend or a woman I'm just cracking or something like that, I wouldn't have to tell her anything. She doesn't have that kind of authority with me.
Can I chime in right quick? This hurting me. This hurting me. At the end of the day, it can only be one person that person can submit to, and then the other person has to follow. Just like you're not going to submit to your kids, right? That'll be backwards. So at the end of the day, your kids have to submit to you and listen to your rules and then follow the orders that you put out there. So at the end of the day, it's a hierarchy. It's an order. If you break that order, things are going to be kind of chaotic. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I understand where you're trying to go with this narrative, but that's not the way it goes. You're going to kind of fuck up. But if it's working for you, hey, I can only say to each their own. I'm about to land this plane though, right quick. So I heard y'all speaking about, appreciate you for bringing me up, a host. Yeah. I ain't been up here in a minute, brother. I heard them saying something about, hold on. Let me backtrack a little bit. So submission. Please, brother, just do not try to switch the word, change the word, or even rewrite history. At the end of the day, that word.
That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, that word is there for a reason. Don't try to make it to where it makes them feel good, because it's one thing that they have to do. If they don't want to be submissive, then okay, leave them alone. Let them be. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if they can't follow that rule or that playbook, go to somebody else. Like the prompt says, black men should mostly pursue non-black women if they want the best chance of love.
But I'm saying, would you tell your kid, if your kid called you and asked you where you were at? I'm not telling them. I ain't got to tell no child where I'm at. But my wife, I got to tell her.
That's not being submissive. What are you talking about? That's communicating.
That don't mean submitting to your wife when you do that.
I ain't got to communicate with my kids.
It's communication, right?
Yes, it's communication, bro.
I don't recognize my children as
kind of reaching, bro. That is kind of like
I'm saying there's a difference in
That's
authority.
communication, man. That's the bare minimum of submission, bro.
No, there's a difference in authority. What I'm saying is my children have zero authority.
But you got my point, though. But you got my point.
No, I'm saying, my point. No, do you hear my point?
I hear what you're trying.
No, you're not hearing what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I'm not telling my child. If my child called me, I'm like, what business is it of yours? I can outright tell them something that will be disrespectful to my wife.
The man is supposed to love the wife or the woman like Christ loved the church. The woman is supposed to submit to the husband. That's all I was trying to get you to understand. But like I said, if you want to run your household like that, hey, the more the merrier. I'm not talking about that.
Just does. What if you have multiple wives? Hold on. What if you have multiple wives? Then what?
I was about to land with this right quick.
Go ahead, you got it.
Okay, real quick, and I'm gonna shut the fuck up. The last point I was gonna make though is the prompt. The prompt is actually leaning in the right direction. I'm sorry, and it's not even to sound like a bash or a dig or a slight or none of that shit. The thing is, if you're sitting here saying to your man that I don't need you, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to just continue to try to pursue you if you're saying I don't need you, or are they supposed to go somewhere where they are needed and where they are appreciated? I mean, because at the end of the day, you're telling them, hey, if you're making $40,000 to $50,000 to $60,000, you're a brokey. I can't do nothing with you. So at the end of the day, what are you doing? You're pushing your man away. You're doing this to yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice. At the end of the day, y'all could be like Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. He didn't have too much going on, but guess what? She rocked with him until he got to that finish line. Most of y'all want a nigga that's already at the finish line, and then y'all say, "Oh, I want him." That's not cool. I want to see my girl make it. I want my girl to make it with me through the mud. I don't want you to get at me after I finish that finish line. And I land.
And also, what you think? What do you think a man at the finish line is going to treat you like? He's going to know why you're there, so he's going to treat you accordingly. If like at this stage of my life, if a woman was with me, if a got with me, and it was like a younger woman, I already know that she wouldn't be with me unless I had something going on. So I'm going to treat her accordingly. She ain't going to have the same privileges as if I had a woman that was with me for 20 years. She going to have to watch how she talk to me, for sure, off top. She really need to watch her mouth when she's dealing with me. So I'm just saying, if you're dealing with a man, if you think you're gonna find a man at the finish line, you really gonna have to bow down. Because I'm gonna make her bow down. I'm off top. I don't know you. That woman would have to be submissive for real.
I'm gonna make her bow down.
I mean it. Every word of it. I mean every word of it. I'm saying.
You are so contradictory. I'm saying if she came in late in the game, she gonna bow down. I know what she's there for. She all the way better watch her mouth. All the way.
Better watch her mouth. Damn.
Watch her mouth. Watch how she talks to me.
What you gonna show her? What you gonna show her? The back of the pimp hand or what?
She might get it. She might. I'm not even gonna lie.
She might get it.
All right. Now we're getting off. All right.
Yeah, very much off topic. So I want to chime in, if that's okay with you, gentlemen. Is that okay?
Yeah, Steph.
Yeah, it's okay, Steph.
Okay, I've been patiently waiting, but I'm here now. Thank you for having me host. This is my first time in, and I really just want to like refocus us for a second. So thanks for saying that. That was a perfect segue into what I need to say. So I want us to like really focus. You guys have a lot of great points that you're making, but I think they're getting like clouded in that we all have, right? So to go back to, so there really shouldn't be a disagreement about, that, it actually is higher for Black men. It's, over 30%. And it's almost 50%. It's like 47% where they're highly incarcerated more than other races. That's a fact, number one. Okay.
47%. What?
For Black youth, and it's 31 or 32% for Black adult men.
Interesting.
Very. So that is a fact. It's a point. So, and then when we talk about, like you were just saying, I forget who it was, if it was Just or whoever, was talking about the fact that, you have women or certain women that present themselves a certain way. I think you said Cardi B or whatever, and they have like this persona, or they only want to deal with men that are making a certain amount of money, BLK men that are dealing that have a certain amount of income each year, or whatever the case may be. They're only looking for certain things. The 3 6s, right? 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack. Which is nonsense, right? And that may be a fact, but all of these things, every excuse that you could come up with as to why BLK women are not up to par, they're subpar, as I've seen in the comments quite a lot today. Like, they're subpar. But why are all of these things, why did they all occur? Like, I just really wish that we could come together as a whole, and instead of having, these platforms where we're discussing why we shouldn't be together, Black women don't like Black men, black men don't, we don't like each other and all these things. But there has been historically, things that have brought us to this point of why we dislike each other so much. And we can't seem to get past our own personal issues that we've experienced to see that we should not be creating a platform to
Further drive it.
to further drive it. Like, I mean, we have been, as a people have, and I'm not just going to say YT people, but people have tried to eliminate us from the beginning of time. There has been systemic rules, laws that have been drafted up to eliminate us. And we don't think that they're sitting back pushing this agenda, laughing at us while we're pushing it as well. Like, the interracial dating, the interracial kids and marriages and all of that, on top of the incarceration issue, on top of all the things that you guys are talking about. I mean, we're like, in another 200 years, I mean, we're going to look around and everybody's going to be biracial. So it's the fact that we can't come together as a people and say, hey, yes, black men have been through things as a whole. Black women have been through things as a whole. And, back in the 90s, it was okay to be a Cardi B. That was sexy. It was okay for white women to come in at the finish line and want to date, BLK men because they were up at that point. Like, all of these things have happened, but it's like we get so clouded in our judgment, and we're only looking at today, 2024, when we've had 400 years of oppression, and white people are laughing at us because we're eliminating ourselves with this type of agenda. That's all I have to say. Sure.
Nah, go ahead, Identity. Go ahead.
Agreeing with that. I'm gonna say this. Even though the prompt was saying, we should go outside or elsewhere if they're not cooperating with us, I prefer to choose a black woman first before I even think about going outside. You got what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this discussion, it needs to be had. I agree. You know what I'm saying? Because we do sweep a lot of shit under the rugs. We don't talk about stuff that we need to talk about. So with that being said, to your point, a lot of this shit you didn't hear that much because guess what? We didn't have social media like this. So you didn't get to hear the black men expressing themselves. Not a lot of black men wanted them Cardi B's. You just didn't hear that because the social media, social programming made women believe a lot of this stuff. It made y'all believe that we wanted the fake shit, the BBLs and shit like that. You hear us screaming unanimously, like guys all across the globe saying, no, we don't want that fake shit. We want y'all natural. We want y'all natural. We want y'all
to make that phone, baby.
Yeah.
I cut you off.
Oh, you good, brother? Yeah. We want y'all natural. We want y'all to be cooperative with us. We don't want y'all to just be sitting here fighting with us. We're already going to job just to, make ends meet and to help y'all out. You know what I'm saying? So that way y'all can hopefully live a decent life. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know in the black community it's rough. If we look at it from economical standpoint, most people make about $40K a year. Even the women that's complaining in the chat talking about $60K is not even enough. They're barely making enough to even get by. They're living check to check. And here's the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna mute up. As far as it goes right now, since we got social media, we're talking to one another. That's why we got a lot of arguments right now, because it's we're building relationships now. And it's rocky at first, but we got to listen to one another so we can start building things and making things work. This is where it starts at. I know it sounds rough and horrible because a lot of this talk sounds toxic, but at the end of the day, if we start listening to each other, we can fix shit. But I'm gonna land with that.
Also, man, I'll let me piggyback off that. He said something.
Hold on. Did you guys get flagged? My bad. Did you guys get flagged?
I don't think no.
I didn't see it.
But let me speak on what Secret Identity said. Brother, the thing is about these conversations, they probably need recalibrated, right? In truth, right? We need to start with an economic base of truth with what we're talking about with our people, right? We need to be honest about the economics, honest about the incarceration rates and all that stuff, and honest about single motherhood. We need to start in truth. The reason these conversations go so long is because we have bad faith arguments, right? The fact of the matter is they compare us to white T men, right? Most of us working on a job right next to a white T man. You see what I'm saying? So they have these false. They set up like a false comparison between us and white T men. There's so many white T billionaires that skew the demographics for white men that it makes it seem like even white T people are doing better than they actually are. Most white T men probably make maybe $5,000-$6,000 more than black men on average, which is what, $500 a month. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're talking about, $100 a week. That's really what they're talking about in essence when they talk about comparing us to white T men. Also, we also need to talk about their spending habits. We need to talk about black people's spending habits because number one, we don't save enough money to build it to where it can work for us. That's the majority of our problem. That is really the majority of our problem. If we could save money and invest it, you get what I'm saying? Take what we make and invest it and come together as husband and wife, like my parents did. My parents became millionaires on basic jobs. On basic jobs. I'm talking about they laughing at $50,000-$60,000 a year. My parents became millionaires on $50,000-$60,000 a year. Bought 2 houses and put back in the S&P 500. Got 12% a year.
Okay, so everybody's here. I'm sorry, Jess. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Everybody's here to play a role, and I guess my role today is to recalibrate us when we get off topic, okay? Because I respect what you're saying, but I want to bring us back to the point at hand. So if we want to share stories, if that's what we're going to do and not facts here, my parents, which is my stepfather and my mother, they've been married for 33 years at this point. 2 black people, okay? And she, out of 7 siblings, she's one of 7. She is the only one who married a black man or a black person, because there's men and women. And I had a conversation with my uncle in particular, who's a black man who married a white woman who has biracial children, right? And they're not even married anymore. They're divorced, and he's been dating for years now. And every woman that I've ever seen him bring was not BOK. And so I had to have a conversation with him, and you know, as a woman, as a BOK woman, you're seeing these things, like, because you're right. Whoever said that about social media being a thing, and that's why we're having these conversations, is providing a platform for us at this point. You're absolutely right. It is doing that right now. But we cannot forget that for the last 30, 40, 50 years, all we had was what we saw on TV and what was depicted by celebrities and movies and videos and all of that stuff. That's all we had to see, where BLK women were being, you know, put down, not good enough. You need to have, you know, the big ass. You need to have this. You need to have the long hair, and all of these things that we're putting to our head as a little girl. And for BOK men not to have any sort of sympathy or empathy towards that fact blows my mind. So as I was sitting there having this conversation with my uncle about why do you only date women that are not BOK, and he wanted to give me every excuse that you guys have already given today, so I'm not going to go and repeat it, all the reasons as to why BOK women ain't it, right? I'm listening to my uncle to say this. But when I really pushed his buttons and really had this conversation, let's talk about the facts. Let's really talk about when did that start? When did it start? Oh, it started because of the issue that you had with my grandmother, your mother. And, you know, how she was as a, you know, angry, quote unquote, angry BLK woman that had to raise 7 children because your father died when you guys were young, and all of that pressure on her. And she was just angry and drinking and just maybe not a nice person and not a nice mother. Right. And you bottled all of that up, and you never went to therapy, and you never talked to anyone. Oh, and then on top of that, you had people at school talking about you because you were really dark skinned. And he finally admitted that I wanted to have lighter complected children. Well, now we're getting to the real underlying reason. So now we're getting to the underlying reason as to why we have that mentality as a people, not just BOK women, not just BOK men, but all of us have this mentality as a whole, as a people, because of topics and issues that are not being talked about, that we're not going to seeking therapy for.
Well,
So
Steph,
that's what we should be talking
but
about.
this is like a monologue, and I haven't spoken, and I've been here for like 10
So
minutes.
chime in whenever you're ready,
I
sis.
wanted to-
So
I wanted
monologues
to- I
are
wanted to,
what's
add
happening
on to
today,
I just
evidently.
wanted to say something. What Steph was saying, you got it, Melanated. I just want to say one thing. So you can't forget that during those times in the media when black women being betrayed like that in music videos, by the way, in movies that was not created by black men, you have to understand the black woman took it upon herself to go on shows like, I always say this, Phil Donahue back in the day, to really crap on black men and say black men ain't ish. And also you had a stat, and you got it, Melanated, after this. You quoted a stat earlier when you said black men are in jail. Actually, per capita is more white men in jail, first of all. Second of all, majority of black men are not going to jail. So even if the group of black men are going to jail, only a couple of thousand of black men out of 19 million of us that's in the USA.
It's recidivism. It's called recidivism,
So-
brother.
Clock
It's not all black men are going to jail. Majority of black men are actually doing well for themselves.
It's not all of black men, but we only make up, 15-20% of
You have to-
everybody.
you have
So
to-
for us to be in
you have to
prison
understand the
30
millions, though. You have to
40%
understand
is
it's
insane.
only 19
Most black men
something.
will.
Right. I'm saying by millions, it's only 18 or 19 million black men and 20 something black women. So you got to say, out of those 19 million black men in the USA, how many are going to jail? What's the number? And it's only a couple of thousand. That's all.
It's a couple hundred thousand. Also, brother.
Right.
Also, most black men, the majority of black men in America will never be arrested in their entire lifetime.
Exactly.
That's it. That
All of us
will
don't
never
commit
even
crimes.
be arrested. Will never even
Right.
be arrested. So that was that. I'll let.
Right. Per capita, it's the white man going to jail. He fills up the jail.
They get arrested way more than we do.
Way more.
Okay, beyond that, she also said, God damn it.
Can I just address
Melanated. She wanted to.
No, you also said that we don't get sympathy. You don't understand how we don't get sympathy for y'all because of what y'all go through, and it's interesting
vice versa.
because it's interesting because you didn't say anything about what we go through. Maybe that's why we don't got the sympathy.
No, I did actually. I said both of us, like black women, how we.
Did you? You said both of us?
Yes, I
You said we don't get sympathy because of what both of us go through.
she did not say that. She did not say that.
Yeah, I ain't hear that neither.
I
We don't get no sympathy about what y'all go through and the standards that y'all held to. But me
in
and
that instance, at that moment, yes, I did say that, but I also, after that, said that how we view each other.
What I'm saying is, can you understand that maybe they don't have sympathy because men is held to standards too, as far as financial, as far as height, as far as weight, body type. Men is held to the standards as well. As far as personality type, we got the same thing.
A higher standard, actually, a higher. We have to do.
I'm sorry. I'm
You can't just put on an $8 sundress and walk outside. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
We all chose wrong. That's what I'm saying. When I made the comment of how we view each other, how BOK men view BOK women, and vice versa. Like how we view each other is stemmed from historical views and historical trauma that we don't, as a whole, as a community, want to heal ourselves from. We just want to have these surface level conversations about what
Not everybody.
Really surface level. When I did the German lady, hold on. When I did the German lady post, a bunch of y'all was in the comments, thousands, like it's millions of views. So it's thousands of comments of y'all saying that the average black man ain't worth nothing. So that's what made me come up with this post, because I'm like, damn. So the sisters think the average black man ain't nothing, so he got to look at other women now, because they feel like they settling if they get with. This is the problem with the relationship, because they feel like they settle,
right?
Because they don't view the black man as nothing if he ain't Future or Drake.
Right. And social media has allowed that narrative to be perpetuated in the last 5 years.
Why
right?
are we blaming everybody but
as
the
far as
actual
women
problem?
go, it's that the BOK women and that whole persona that we were talking about, that narrative has been pushed since the 90s. I mean, maybe even the 80s.
This is
You know what I'm saying? It's we've had to hear that and see that and internalize that for forever. But we still, as a whole, always had BLK men's back from
we let melanated
from early on.
Yeah, but during the 90s, black women were saying stuff about black men on those talk shows. But let melanated go.
Yeah. Listen,
what you saying,
Melanated been waiting for a minute, and then
So was I, but go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm just hearing a lot of crazy stuff right now. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, this is like really diabolical to me. So first, I just want to address the point that like we're spewing white supremacist rhetoric up here, like narratives that black men are incarcerated more and black men do this more, this happens to them more. I mean, this is completely and utterly false. I'm so tired of coming on panels and seeing black women spew this rhetoric and regurgitating ideologies that white people created to further oppress black men. Just like they talk about black men being absent fathers or deadbeats, right? But yet they're the ones statistically that are there for their children over any other demographic. I just find it insane that we're blaming TV shows and all these superficial things, which, by the way, you can choose whether or not you look at that TV show. You can choose whether or not you believe in what it's perpetuating. You can choices, but you make the conscious choice to go on them and feed and eat from the things that they are trying to shove down your throat. This is all a choice. So I just find it insane that we're coming up here, we're blaming everything and everyone besides black women not being what I guess the topic is, like wifey material, basically, who black women are pursuing for wives, right? So as far as the main topic, black men should mostly pursue non-black women if they want the best chance at love. I agree. And the reason why I agree is for a different reason. I think that black women are amazing wives when they act right. Nobody wants to sit in relationships with women that are nothing but burdens and headaches. This is women are leaving time and time again. They are divorcing their husbands. They are breaking their homes on purpose for the sake of their feelings, for the sake of their happiness. But the minute that black men say that I just want you to not be a fucking headache, oh my God, social media is in an uproar. Everybody's mad. I don't see the problem with black men saying, we want to be with you, we want to marry you, but because you can't hold yourself accountable to be the best version of yourself and you can't get your shit together, I'm gonna go somewhere where somebody does. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. I don't understand why women have their thong in a knot. If you're not being a submissive woman, if you're not being feminine and you're not being all these qualities that a man is like expecting from you, and you're mad that he's going somewhere else, then how about you just be that thing and stop bitching and expecting men to settle? Because you don't settle, why should black men have to settle?
What's all these L's in the comments about melanated?
Like melanated.
Melanated. Hey, Jude, drive your point, bro. Melanated on point. Don't worry about the trolls. That's
melanated right now.
Yeah, melanated on point.
Hold on. You can say L me all you want, but every human being,
what does L mean? What does that mean, melanated? What is that?
A loss.
Yeah.
That means you took a loss?
Yeah. Trying to give him a loss.
How she take a loss?
No, that's the women we talking about.
They mad because he's making sense and she's speaking.
That's what women talk about.
Those are the ones we talk about.
They don't like when women make sense. They don't like when women make sense.
Let me just briefly say, every person, every human being has the right to be with who they want to be with. There is no reason that we're over here ostracizing and criticizing and demonizing black men because they're saying that I want a wife that has A, B, and C qualities, and if you're not meeting it, I'm going somewhere else. There is nothing wrong with this. If you are triggered and you want black men to be with you, then be what they're asking for. And I land my plane right there.
Facts.
Hey, let Jew him go next. Let Jew him go next.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with going where you are loved. Number one, so the whole pick me attitude is
All the real ones come to my live.
That's some real shit right there, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, let me ask you though.
Hold on, was Steph by the color or pick me? Steph.
yeah. Because why is it? No one's saying
It's
that
not a
black
pick
men
me, Steph.
can't have standards and
Hold up, Steph,
go
hold up,
after
Steph.
what they
Steph,
want.
Steph.
But why?
But she destroyed your whole stats, though. She destroyed your whole stats. Not only that,
Steph, we got
she
two
destroyed the
people
whole
on the panel
stats.
who ain't had a chance to speak yet. Let the other two who ain't had a chance to speak yet go before you rebuttal. At least let them go first.
I'm gonna go
So
first.
now we have rules because that wasn't the case when I
I'm just
first got on
saying,
the
so you
panel.
can get some order.
Fair. It's just
Then
fair.
chaos.
Yeah, but I'm asking y'all real quick. When women like Steph and Melanated speak up, it's really and other women on the other side, it's really a cry for help, just in different ways, depending on if they had a father or not. But it's always a cry for help, showing me that they actually care because they hear, listening. Have we offered any solutions? Because I got a couple. I don't know if we offer solutions, but I got a couple, and that should be the bottom line.
I got a
No, they don't
solution.
want to talk about solutions.
I got a solution, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I'm saying? All the sisters gotta respect the black men, and they gotta apologize and submit.
Yes, I agree, and I got one that go even deeper than that one. How about?
And then we'll, know what I'm saying? If it was respect, if we went around everywhere and we seen the respect, then the protection will automatically be there.
Automatic, because we simple beings. But look, I got something even deeper than that, ladies. Y'all may not agree with it, but it's the ultimate solution for the ones that's crying inside of y'all, saying, "Please save me. This demon got a hold of me, and she won't let go." And y'all inside crying and screaming to come out. The ultimate solution is to, damn it, destroy that 911 button and destroy public assistance. I promise y'all to come back running to see y'all men for help, and it won't be help. It'll be more like surviving together. We're becoming a team, and I'm telling you, we'll become one as a family.
Why would they do that though? Why would they do
I don't
that?
see it in today's world because we taking care of them too well. We prop them up too high, and they'll never become equal with us again because we prop them up
That's
too high.
their power. They'll never do that. That's where their power comes from.
I don't see it. We took too well care of them, dog. We need to find a strong rock somewhere and etch for the future civilizations coming up, never to put a woman on a pedestal and prop them up above us ever again, because it was always going to turn out this way. It's always going to turn out this way if we take care of them too well. You know what I'm saying? That's all there is to it. It's a fight for supremacy now is within just our community. There ain't no such thing as a
Fight for
family.
supremacy.
Yeah, but bro, immigration,
It ain't no fight for supremacy, bro. You don't see this picture?
illegal immigration is going to end in their social hierarchy.
I think it's Washale let Washale go after Drew.
I see
You must be blind.
I'm telling you, bro.
It ain't no fight for supremacy. It's my way or the highway, bro.
Oh, I feel you. I'm with you 100%. But I'm saying, though,
Illegal immigration is going to hit the black community like a ton of bricks. We don't see it yet, but I'm telling you, they serve as a dual minority politically, and that's their power. That's the underlying power. They're going to be replaced with HW women as dual minorities.
See, I can see it coming.
I'm going to tell you something. That's going to end the power structure.
I can see it coming.
I'm saying they're not even going to be able to call. You talk about 911. 911 ain't even going to come from that.
No, if it don't,
You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about in 10 years.
I believe you.
I'm talking about they're going to lose jobs because, man, honestly, let's be honest. Like, they're not even the top performers on a lot of these jobs they have. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking them. A lot of them can play on the dual minority card. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand that we as a black people, we kind of deal with the dominant society like we would a lenient parent. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They put up with a lot of misbehavior out of in terms of their attitudes and that kind of stuff. A lot of that stuff gets winked and nodded at in a way it will not get with other communities. When she has a Hispanic supervisor, that ain't gonna fly. You see what I'm saying?
I can see it.
They ain't gonna think it's cute. They ain't gonna think it's funny, or think like, okay, well that's LaQuisha. She having a bad day. You know it, man. Don't get that sister girl, man. Like them other ones gonna be like, I don't know what her problem is, but she better. You know what I'm saying? That's how that's gonna be, bro. I'm saying they've already seen it in places in California and everything. I'm telling you, I have family members that deal with the other groups when they come into places of business and everything where we normally dominate it. And what they do is they root us out. They root us out. And I'm telling you, the women are way more aggressive with BLK women than they are with anybody else. That is like oil and water. They cannot mix. So I'm saying a lot of the privilege they enjoy is about to end almost abruptly. And like they said, sacred calves don't get slaughtered. They just go away. You're just gonna look up one day, and they're not gonna have this authority, this privilege.
You done? Because Washell been waiting for a minute, bro.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for having on your panel, Mr. Smith. I adore you. You know that. You know, we got a song. I was just looking up, Mr. Big Stuff. That was back in the 70s. You know, because it was a woman heartbroken by a man, and she made a song. Women been singing about men for a long time and going against men for a long time. Now we got rappers, we got things that we doing now, but that's just recent. Okay, that's recent. But women, you got Diana Ross, you got the electric slide. That's about right. Anybody want to know what the electric slide is about? Was y'all? It's about the things with batteries in it.
What?
Because she didn't want no man. Yeah.
Okay.
Electric.
I mean,
Google it, y'all. I mean, no lie. I mean,
everybody got their choice,
yeah,
right?
It is. It's true.
I'm letting it slide in.
So, well, yeah. But at the end of the day, women has been bashing men for years. So I land.
I agree.
Secret, I think you had something to go next with, bro.
Well, I see a person named Pooh is down there, but I can make my point real quick because I don't monologue. But I was going to say, you know, it was kind of crazy listening to stuff like blaming everything besides the person. It's like, oh, the TV shows and this and that and blah, blah, blah. No. At the end of the day, we cannot put it on the TV shows and everything like that because we do have we have power to say no to something. We have power to say, okay, if they're dressing like this on the TV show, I don't have to dress like that. I don't have to dress and show my ass and titties. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go out here with a Blakey and Star, you know what I'm saying? Unalive and alive folks. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep blaming everything. You know what I'm saying? We can't live in this victim mindhood until 2050 or 2055, you know what I'm saying, going forward. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, when are you going to stop? When are we going to stop blaming trauma on everything? When are we going to stop blaming the TV on everything? When are we going to stop blaming everybody else and stop and not looking at ourselves? So I wanted to say that. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that she was talking about her personal story. I guess it was her uncle or her father. Oh, well, he made all kind of excuses, just like the fellas on the panel. Ma'am, I'm not making excuses. I'm saying what I see out here and what I've had to deal with, and I'm sure a majority of other black men had to deal with. They don't want to continue to deal with it. That's all I'm saying. And then you also hear, and I'm sure you probably one of the women that's about the same rhetoric also. I don't need a man. If we're hearing this stuff coming out of our sisters' mouths, how is it going to be easy to even deal with that? I don't want to be with somebody who says they don't need me. And I'll say this, last but not least, a need supersedes a want. You know what I'm saying? A need supersedes a want. So a want is just, a need is more important. That's the difference. And if I hear my woman tell me she don't need me, guess what? I'm going to say, I'm out. Because I don't want to be with that shit. And I land.
Yeah, don't never tell your man you don't need him. Because he going to show you. He going to make you prove.
You wanted to respond to that stuff before Pooh go?
Yeah, I definitely did because he, called my name. So when it comes, I think the answer to your question is when it's actually rectified. So you say that we shouldn't talk about the TV shows and we shouldn't talk about the mentality that, BLK people have as a whole. We shouldn't talk about the trauma and where all of this generated from. It's not an excuse. It's a reason. And if we can't focus on what the cause is, then how can you ever come to a solution and us all come together on a page where we're not doing this whole, against each other? Because we're the only race that does it. So to your point, yeah, you may look at it as an excuse or, just another thing, but that is literally the reason. So we were going to keep talking around in these circles over and over and over again because we don't want to look at
we're not the only race that does
the final the lower level of how all of this started. And because that's when you go to a board meeting and you guys are trying to figure out how to, rectify or fix fix a problem that the business is having. You don't start from right now. You got to peel away all of the layers and you got to figure out, well, how did we even get here? And that's what y'all, I don't just mean y'all here on the panel, but y'all or us as a whole, we don't want to talk about any of those things. We don't want to talk about how we got here.
Before you respond to that, Identity, who did you want to go ahead and get something, man?
Yeah, I disagree with the topic, obviously. I think the disconnect that we're having here is that, like what Secret said, right, is like black men want to be needed. Like y'all view like relationships and marriage to be a necessity, which is like, do your big one, right? If that's how you feel, so be it. But I think the reason why black women and black men are having to disconnect is because black women don't need y'all. And I feel like y'all are looking at that like it's a bad thing, when in reality, you should be glad that you share a race with women who can stand on their own, who can stand strong in themselves. Like, you can still be put on a pedestal and you can still be admired without the necessity of you being
If
with
y'all
somebody.
don't need us, why y'all on the panel? We trying to get foreign women.
That's fine. And that's
what made
that's
y'all
another
come
part.
here?
And that's another part that I didn't say we were superior. I never said that at all. And that's another thing, right? Like, even with y'all wanting foreign women, that's completely okay. But like, we're also going to acknowledge the disparities and the issues that happen when black men have dated outside their race. Let's talk about the fact that y'all get unalived at higher rates when you're dating.
But why do you care,
Or the
though?
fact
That's
that
the
you
point.
get accused of rape when you're
That's
dating
the point.
non-black women.
The point is, why do you care? The point is, why do you care about black men so much? If you don't like us, why do you care about us?
I never said that I did not like black men. Don't straw man what I'm saying. I never said that. What I specifically said was that the reason why we're having the disconnect within the black community is because black men want to be a necessity and black women are saying you're not. And I don't think that's the issue, but y'all think that's
If
an
we're not,
issue.
then leave us alone. We'll mess with other ones. We'll create a whole nother race.
Yeah, and that's fine. And you guys are doing that, right? So black men actually
got the
outside their
options.
race more than any other race, but also let's talk about the issues that are happening with that. And I'm only responding because your prompt says that the best way to have a chance at love is to date non-black women. But in reality, when you're dating outside your race, y'all are literally being unalived. Black women are not unalived, y'all. White women are unalived, y'all.
Nobody unalived.
White women are putting y'all in jail for false accusations. So I'm not saying. Now hold on. Let me finish. I ain't
Where you get the stat from?
I didn't cut nobody. Yeah, so actually, I do have a stat here. So this one is called "Any Four Black Men Will Do Race and the Ultimate Scapegoat." It's by Tracy Owens Patton by the University of Wyoming. And it was also peer reviewed by Julie Cinder, who went to ULI at Iowa State University. And it says the study examines the impact of false rape charges at former Iowa State University student brought against 4 black males. They used the textual analysis.
What that got to do with the other thing you just said? I asked you for a stat for what you just said. You talking about something else.
Well, yeah, this is the name of the study.
With your propaganda. You're not finna do propaganda on here. If you don't want to answer the question, why
I'm
you
not
come
giving you
up
propaganda.
here?
This is the name of the stories.
I'm saying that if you don't want to answer the questions, why you come up
They're going to interrupt you, and then you're going to end up getting
other people that could have came up here. You ain't got to be up here.
They don't want to hear anything that doesn't agree with
Okay, so look, this one is from the Montana
ain't no
Innocent.
this one from nothing. I'm gonna holler at you. Yeah. One of y'all want to go with her?
Yeah. You can send.
You can go.
Like, it's a problem. So go ahead.
Okay, it's a problem. You want to go?
Bye.
Okay. I got you. Hold up.
I'm gonna say something
Help
to
you too.
Yes.
Anybody else want to go with them?
And I was gonna say something to Steph, but you
Steph gone.
Yeah.
Ain't no more Steph.
Can I just add really quick? Like, when he first came up here, it was a matter of, well, I'm gonna be neutral. We shouldn't point the finger at each other, But then when it comes down to it, that's not really how they feel. They just say stuff like that so that we don't give a degree of accountability to
So
black
you want to
women.
lead too? That's you saying. That's you want to lead too?
Nah, that's
No,
not what she's saying. She
I'm
agreeing.
talking
She agreeing
about
with
the Steph lady. She
Oh,
came
okay.
up here acting like she was neutral and that we should look at the
No,
solution.
but I'm Superman. I'm Black Superman right now. I'm just saying.
Real bad, you Black Superman.
I'm Black Superman right now.
I'm just
Gonna reset this
confused. Like,
motherfucker. I'm just saying.
hey, like
it
agent.
just don't really be neutral for real. Like it just be you're saying that because you don't want black men to talk about black women.
Yeah, and she
Not-
come up here.
Because when it's time to talk about black men, then you jump on the train, and it's just insane to me.
Nah, that unalive comment.
I'm honestly confused.
Recovering from that one. So, hey,
Yeah.
what is that, Chili? Go ahead, Chili, because that unalive shit that upset me.
Listen, the thing
I'm
about
still
it is,
recovering.
I believe that black women do need black men. And I'm coming from a place from a black woman who dated white men. And it's a difference. It's a difference. It's a difference in how you're treated and why you're treated the way you are. I notice when dating white men, they treat you like you're a pet. Like you are on a pedestal. Yeah. Like you are on a pedestal of like a cat. Like, look at my pretty black thing that I've conquered. Real
The cat
shit.
that I'm clapping, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And and this is my experience. I was with a white man for 13 years. So I can tell you exactly the difference between dating a black man and a white man. And it was not a preference thing. It was, it is what it is. This man is doing this, this man is not doing this. So you kind of like weigh your options when you're younger, But I can honestly say that the loyalty and the vibe that you get from a black man is totally different. The connection that you have with a black man and knowing what he's going through, why he's going through it, and what you want to help him get through, I get that vibe. You feel me? But I feel like when women say they don't need a black man, is because you fell into a systematic situation where you feel like you can do everything on your own and there's nothing that he can offer you. And that's not true. I feel like because how society is, a lot of black women make a lot more money than black men right now. And so they put the things on, oh, can you buy me this? Can you get me that? Well, can he emotionally sustain you? Can he show you that he cares about you? Can he be there for you when you need him? Yes. But they don't value the black man on that level. They only want to value the black man when they come into money. You understand?
You got something on that Blue Beast?
That's how I feel.
You got something on that Blue Beast? There he gone.
I wanted to say something real quick.
Go ahead, Identity.
Okay, so I'll make it quick because I actually did want to touch on the subject before she dropped, but it's still relevant even though she's not up here. The thing I wanted to say is, yeah, I understand, and I'm not negating and saying that, hey, we don't need to look at what happened back in the past. I never will say that because we went through some shit. You know what I'm saying? And we're still going through some shit today. But I'm saying, how long are we going to keep using these excuses that the TV and shit? We're so advanced now that, hey, we can start teaching one another. Let's get out of this brainwash shit that they got us in, because we're in some brainwash shit. We're indoctrinated like a motherfucker, and we believe in half of the things that we hear. And and again, the whole I don't need a man, that thing was indoctrination also to women. And women don't understand. They've been bamboozled. They've been hoodwinked.
The feminist movement started by white women.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, no, you good. They took it hook, line, and sinker. At the end of the day, black men and black women need one another. We need one another to procreate. We need one another to actually work together and be collective. And also, if we want to start a new Black Wall Street or whatever the case is, we need each other. So I get tired of hearing the same rhetoric. And what they're doing is speaking into existence. They're manifesting the shit to the point where men are going to say, okay, well, since you don't need me, I'm going to get out of here. And we do understand some of the undertones of saying, I'll say this last thing and I'm going to shut up. The undertone is, hey, black man, I'm saying I don't need you because I can take care of myself. I'm self-sufficient. We get that, but at the same time, you're still sticking your foot in your mouth. You're doing yourself a disservice by saying you don't need your man. You don't need you don't need a man, period. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're going to speak it into existence until you unalive alone. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to land with that.
That brother cooking. Hey, Gus, I know you've been waiting for a minute. You got something?
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna drop down, bro, because I know you need to get some other people in here. But again, I'm gonna pick back off what the other brother said, man. We actually need to start speaking in truth, because again, we hear these numbers where they say white teen men are doing so much better and black women make so much more. These things are not true. We need to start there. These black women earn less and carry more debt. We need to start there. Like that's just what. So when black women say they don't need black men, these things are not true. Because you got to look at the eviction rates, the foreclosure rates, the repossession rates, the bankruptcy rates among them. This is not true. They are living in a false reality with regards to how they're actually being.
Economy.
Yeah, but bro, I'm just saying they're not even attracting simps. They're running out of simps. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of simps anymore to take them on. Once they get 2 or 3 kids, there's not a lot of simps to take them on. They're running out of that, and
it ain't a lot. Well, it is a lot of simps. Let me stop.
Bro, but not enough.
From where I live at, we jump simps where I live at.
But there's not enough, bro. There's not enough to take on these single mothers and the rent they gotta pay. That they're losing cars, bro. This is not, bro. The things they get on here and say on this internet about how black women are doing are utterly false as a collective. We may have some isolated black women that come in these comments that are doing well for themselves or whatever, but as far as the collective, they can be working for the state, brother. They can have a PhD. They're still going into foreclosure. They're still going into bankruptcy, bro. They still can't pay their credit card bills. They still can't pay their car notes. Bro, this is going on.
Let me ask you something. How many years until they finally realize it's over with, the old model is dead, you got to be a real woman now if you want to get a man?
Bro, it's going to take a society. It's going to take a social collapse within the black community. We're on the verge of social collapse.
You know, in 5 years, all women in America,
said that it would
between the age of 25 and 44, are going to be single and childless.
Bro, it's going to be worse than that, though, bro. You got to understand. There's something, bro. There's something deeper than that. There won't be Social Security and Medicaid and all that stuff in about 6 or 7 years. Now, I don't know how they're going to fund that.
They working on that with the migrants.
It's going to be worse than that, dude.
They're going to use the migrants to make up for that.
Baby, bro, it's insolvent. We're 36 trillion in debt. Nobody is talking about that.
And they don't let 20 million, and they didn't allow 20 million migrants in.
But bro, where's that money gonna come from? Still, you see what I'm saying? Money still gotta come from somewhere.
Money ain't gonna be the biggest problem though. When what you're talking about, Juice?
You see what I'm saying? Money still gotta.
He's thinking
drop down, bro.
like that.
They finna tax the hell out them migrants.
Bro,
that's
you still 36 trillion though, bro. We can only tax for about 17, 18 trillion. We almost got to have a world conflict in order to get from under this debt. We got to knock off a big dog. That's really what we got going on. We got to knock off a big dog. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to go too deep, but bro, what a lot of black women are enjoying are the fruits of.
But the debt, that's all a play, right? Are you familiar with the WEF?
Yeah. I mean, what do you mean WEF?
Have you ever heard of the World Economic Forum?
You talk about the G6s and G7s and all that?
No. Go look up the WEF and then come holler, because all that shit is a push of a button. What you talking about?
Well, bro, but I'm just saying though, you got a lot of credit card debt that's got to get called. You got a lot of mortgages.
You ain't looked up what I told you though. You get, once you look up what I told you and you see what I'm talking about, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Just what he's trying to tell you is all numbers.
We got 2 people that ain't went yet though. Let them hit.
Okay, but what I'll say is this though, bro. We're all doing what they call quantitative easing. That's what the deficit. That's what that's what they hire. That's what the Feds does, lowering and higher interest rates. But yeah, I'm glad you knew that. But bro, what I'm saying is that's going to directly impact black women more than anybody. It's going to directly impact black people more than anybody. So that's when it's going to happen, bro. Because
they supposed to lower interest rates. That's what's word on the street.
Well, that's because of the election to postpone layoffs. The reason they don't lower interest rate is to postpone layoffs till after the election. But because the economy is in a recession, it is effectively in a recession. But it's just not for the top 10%. This is one of the rarest. This is going to be a very rare recession where we might go into reverse, where things increase in value and less people can afford them, and it's just an economy for the top 10%, which black people are going to be locked out of. You see what I'm saying? Largely. So what I'm saying is that's going to affect us, and we're going to change the way we deal with one another. I remember Neely Fuller said that the reason black people were nice to each other back in the day was because nobody else would be nice to us. You see what I'm saying? We had no chance of anybody being else because we were synonymous with poverty. Black skin was synonymous with poverty, and nobody wanted to be around it. And we may get back to that like it is in Brazil. I think that Black America is going to be living like Brazilians, like Black Brazilians in another 10 or 15 years.
That's what's up, then.
That's what I'm thinking.
That might be the reset we need to get the females in order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you have no
they need to see real life.
But if you have no industrial power, you're just locked into that. That's the thing. That's the problem.
We don't even have any land
with that.
But just we don't even have any land to become a nation. So you know what I'm saying? We don't have any value to start with. They took everything from us. So we literally have to do a reset. Like what you said, we have to do it.
But
so
bro,
that's a conversation for another day, though, because think about all the times that we built Black Wall Street. They burnt it down. Central Park, and from the Friends, Central Park, they fucking flooded that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry for cussing.
Wasn't no social media back then, though.
They destroyed all of the land that we own. You know what I mean?
Say something?
Wasn't no social media back then, though.
And bro, also it's gonna be shanty towns, bro. That's what I think. A lot of black people are gonna be living in some weird shanty towns without plumbing, like some of these apartment complexes in the country and stuff. I really see that coming, bro. All right, I'm done.
Let Israel go. Let Israel go and beast you after her. Israel,
So yes, I want to ask or answer your question. You said, what would it take for black women to wake up and realize? Well, Willie Lynch said that it would take a phenomenon to undo what he did in slavery. That phenomenon is finding out who we are, not economics, not marching in the streets. Knowledge of self would change this whole thing. And I'm a witness to that. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. I was just carrying up groceries. 3 flights of stairs, so I'm out of breath. I'm sorry. But like I was saying, that phenomenon is knowledge of self. We believe that we are a black. We are a color that is void, that is nothing. And so that's how we act. And so once we find out the truth, that will change a lot of mindset. However, only 33% are going to change their minds. The rest of the people, 66%, they're not going to do it. So what we need to do as the people who want to fix the communities is link up with others who want to fix the communities. Because constantly going on this hamster wheel is not going to get us anywhere. So we got to put each other in tiers, leave the Pookies and Ray Rays over there, the ratchets and ghettos over there, and take on the people who want to go to the promised land. Because everybody don't want to go. Even the Egyptians, when we escaped out of Egypt, they didn't want to go. They complained to Moses. They wanted to go back. So you got people who enjoy slavery. They enjoy the delusions. They enjoy that. So when we try to pull them out of that, it's like waking somebody up who's been asleep for 3 hours. They get mad. And so we're wasting our time arguing with people who don't want to hear it. So I commend you fellas for trying to at least fix the problem or at least discuss solutions, because all we're doing is going on a hamster wheel otherwise.
Man, I agree with her. And the agent know exactly how I feel. I'm at the point I'm ready to say, at the end of the day, if you don't like black men, leave black men the hell alone. Don't come in our conversations. Don't come in our space. When your YT man do you wrong, don't come cry to no black person. Don't come cry to no black man.
I do have to say this though, sir. Excuse me for interrupting, but I do have to say this. It took for me, I don't want to say it took for me because I've always wanted to be submissive to a man, but I was going towards the wrong, the men who didn't understand submission. I remember a guy told me, I said, hey, I want you to take the lead on this, what we're doing. I want to follow your lead. He said, you're giving me too much power. And I stopped talking to him that day. I didn't try to change him. I stopped talking to him that day because I realized he didn't want the power that a man possesses.
Try that with me.
So, like I said, I realized he did not understand his power. So me, as a woman, cannot convince him of that. He has to see that he has to be walked through that threshold on his own or by another man. And so I didn't try to berate him or talk down to him or anything. I just stopped talking to him. You know, like, I'm not going to change you or nothing.
Israel,
So
you're beautiful.
what I'm-
You're a beautiful woman. You're a beautiful woman, I swear to God. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know if y'all ready to hear the truth or not, but I'm going to tell y'all exactly what we're going through, y'all. Y'all ain't going to want to hear this. But literally, there's two different types of us here, and we ain't the same. They ain't like us. There's some that was already here, and there's some that got brought here. They mingled us all in one bowl and basically are all calling us all African Americans. Pookies and Ray Rays and the sexy ringers, they ain't us. They not us. And they destroying us from the inside. And everybody else is sitting back laughing, just like that 911 button.
Hold up. Jew him. Don't forget what you saying, because that man, that's bruh, you hit the nail on the head. But don't forget what you saying, bro. Don't forget what you saying, because that's a nail. Bruh, that's a nail on the head. Don't forget that. Let Blue Beast and J Dub go. Don't forget what you said, though.
I won't. But they calling in that 911 button when they come out. They basically saying, don't check my monster. They put black women in place, not all y'all, but back in slavery days, they had y'all in charge, basically saying, if they talk while I'm gone, then let me know when I get back and I'll whoop them. And it made these women feel in charge. And they used these slave masters to check us when we got out of line. And today, they use the 911 button for the same reason, y'all. Is to check us whenever we get out of line, which is basically putting them in their place. Like, don't check me, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll call them on you. And that's what's tipping us apart. And when they come out, they laugh. They say, don't mess with our monsters that we put in place. Let them keep destroying our family while we sit back and laugh. Then they go home to their submissive women and laugh while they live the good life. And our women don't realize they're using y'all to destroy us from the inside out, man. And that's the truth. The Pookies and Ray Rays ain't us.
Hey, put that on simmer, bro. Put that on simmer. Put that on simmer. Hold up real quick, Israel. Put that on simmer real quick, because we got to get it real quick. Let Beast and Doug go real quick. You hear, Beast?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just to the point where I'm tired of hearing about how bad black man is. Like, well, I'm so sick of it. If you don't like us, then just stay away from us. Like, don't come in my space. Don't come in my area. Don't, just stay completely away from black men. If you don't like us that bad.
What you got for that, Doug?
Why are you keep coming on panels?
Y'all think too highly of this man. He's the most ignored large creator on here. Makes 80 new accounts, 20 videos a day.
I see you are one of those men that like to argue early in the morning. Nobody applauds a man for leaving his kids. For real? Nobody say a man should...
Four sons. Four sons.
Proud of your sons.
We say a problem that we see, some black women take it as we are just downing them, like we are just degrading them. And what breaks my heart even more, hold on.
Real quick.
And what breaks my heart even more, a black woman will go to a job for a white T boss. Every command he give, yes sir, no sir, right away sir. A brother, you come home to your man, your king, and he asks you one simple thing. And your first thought is, I'm not your maid. I ain't your mama. Dang, I just asked for a pillow. Can you pass me the pillow or not? That's all I want is the pillow.
What you got on that, Doug?
Well, I'll just say me and my friend circle, you know, if you can see in my profile picture, we're kind of past that point where we're just arguing. I will, just to answer to the question, I believe you don't necessarily have to pursue non-black women. There are good groups like if you go to Ethiopia, south of the border, Dominican Republic.
You are the problem.
Excuse me, I would believe I was talking. If you go to Colombia, I will say one of the things I will add.
country.
Oh, I'm saying yes, for the average man, for him to have a viable chance of having a successful family in this day and age, it's not going to come from America. It's just not.
Is that you standing on a camel?
Nika, what you got?
Yes, that's me and that's me
I was
and
about to say,
Egypt.
as black men, they lack integrity for real. Like, y'all want to be white men so fucking bad. So fucking bad.
Why
so
are
date
you
they women,
here?
So they date they women.
Why
and try
are
to
you
beat
here
them,
with a blonde
and then-
wig on? You got a blonde wig on. No,
Okay,
your
first of
hair
all,
ain't
it was
blonde.
blush and
Why
blonde.
you here, bro?
Because it was a birthday wig. Okay? It was a birthday wig.
Why you here, bro?
Don't do me, because I
Bro,
look better
that's
than
what
you
I'm
bitch on a
talking
bad
about.
day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, 'cause I look
Why
better than
you
you bitch on a
here?
bad day, baby.
Boo.
Hey, can I
Hey,
hear
Nigga Boo.
You
Why
know you don't look better than mine.
Yo,
Hey, nigga
Yes, I
boo.
bet I do.
triggered, nigga boo?
I bet you don't.
Because black men like him, I bet he dated a white T one, don't he? Y'all lack integrity. Y'all want to be white.
Hey,
Y'all want to be
nigga
white
boo,
T people
calm
so
down,
bad.
nigga boo.
What?
I am calm. Don't tell me to calm down. I'm calm.
Hey, can we hear what Nika got to say?
You talking about me?
Hey, Nika, rock out.
Why you so triggered?
I'm not triggered. I'm just saying. Y'all, black men that date outside their race they lack integrity. They do, because not only is you unaliving your own line, your own bloodline, because you pinned it with the YT. Because you want to be them so bad, so you want to be in their circles. They'll never accept you. You need to understand that. They'll never accept you.
Excuse me. But you cut me off. No, you cut me off. I gave great alternatives. You can go.
Don't nobody want to be no YT man. Who the hell ever said that?
Exactly.
I ain't never heard that from no black man. I want to be a YT man. Why?
Dude, that's why y'all want to be a part of them. That's why y'all want to have their women so y'all can be a part of them and sit in their circles. You can't sit in their circles. They don't want y'all. They'll never accept y'all.
What in the world?
And then y'all date these people. And then you just think y'all
when
doing
women
something.
go in the down
is
to
they
the
daughters.
completely opposite thing. You guys are
They
like,
sisters.
yeah,
What you
go
talking
get your
about?
credit fixed, go get a
They
house,
daughters
go
and
get
they
a car.
sisters.
Bro,
Like,
who broke your
Wait,
heart?
a black man,
never tell my
a
daughter
black
to date
man
outside her
wanting
race. Never, ever in her
respect
fucking life.
is to be seen that he wants to be YT. I'm just trying to make it clear.
Yes. So they can,
So because he wants respect.
so they can sit in their circles
Wow.
with them. They'll never accept you, because you got to think about it. It's white
they
men that got black women, right? And they have babies, but they'll never be accepted to their family, because you can't have that. You won't never accept it. And then when black men got money, guess what? Guess where the money go when you unalive? Guess where the money goes? It goes to her and her motherfucking people. So now you're taking more money and more wealth out our community, and you putting it back in their community.
And
That's why they own every goddamn thing, because people like y'all.
No, hell no.
But you don't feel the same way when black women date out.
Bro,
Nika,
that's what I'm talking about. Agent, that's what I was just talking about. Like how? But I've never heard a black man say, I want to be a YT man. Never in my life. Where do you get this stuff from?
He was just
And
talking.
you sitting on here with a blind wig on. Like, what the? Like, come on.
Hey, Jew him, bro. Yeah, I know you had that shit on simmer for a minute. So go ahead and cut that pot back up, bro.
Yeah, man.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Say something.
I go after whoever. I just want to speak or have a turn at some point.
I'm gonna say this, and it might be a little controversial, but this is the problem, and y'all gonna be mad, both sides.
We not.
Men and women gonna be mad when I say this.
We ain't.
We not.
When I tell y'all,
we not gonna be mad.
It's accountability here. Go ahead.
listen. I forget. I think it's Genesis 3 or 4, chapter 4. After Eve did what she did, the first thing that God said was, "Adam, where art thou?" Showing
what you doing?
that He gave
That's a
her
woman, bro.
too much power.
Yep.
And so the issue that we have today is at one point during Jim Crow, through slavery, through all of that, our men was in position, the women was in position, the kids was in position, everybody. At some point it was wrong. It took them 4 generations to get them to get us to stop wearing dresses. It took them 4 generations to get us to wear pants. This was something that we didn't even do as slaves. What does the saying go? Who wear the pants? So now everybody's confused. So the men giving the women too much power and the women taking the power and running with it is the problem.
Yeah. But I heard what you just said. Let me rewind what you just said. And back to the Eve thing, Adam wasn't even around when she did what she did. It took for her to step away from his power, his authority, protection for that to happen.
Negative, sir.
He wasn't there.
He was her hedge of protection. He knew what she was doing. She gave it to him. The law was given to Adam.
She explained to him what happened because he wasn't there to see it. I mean, he was,
listen, what I'm saying, the point that I'm making is Adam was the one giving the law and the order, the command of not to eat, right?
But she didn't listen.
Right. So this is the problem that black women be having.
God gave that command.
Right. God gave the command.
Pretty much is that.
Right.
God
So
said, Adam, don't
being
eat
that
this.
God gave the command to the head and he allowed the woman to do this, to me, in my mind, it just puts me in the mind of a simp.
You do understand that she did that before he knew, right? She did.
No,
that.
that's not true. That's not
He
true.
He didn't say go ahead and bite the apple, and she bit it. She came to him and said, "I bit the apple," and you didn't know.
It didn't happen in one day, sir. This happened over time.
Exactly. She was doing all this behind his back. And then she informed him of what happened later.
Exactly. She told him what she did, and he went ahead. He went against the command based on her words, even though he knew the direct command.
He knew it,
but
but
she didn't follow it. She rebelled.
Men do it all the time. They go against what they know to be right. It's men in prison right now. 200,000 men in prison right now because of a woman.
She ain't wrong though, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying.
It just put, like I said, it just puts me in the mind of a simp.
Just because of a woman, it's because of some money too.
No, I'm saying whether it was them being emotional, a woman said, "Hey, this man did something to me." Now he go, instead of examining the situation, he based everything he do off of what she told him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Stuff like that is why. That's what I mean. So when we leave.